Welcome to Books on Point. A Taste for Life is a memoir about Alan Ambor, who went from being a hippie waiter to opening the first Spur in 1967 and growing it into an empire that included more than 500 franchises under the Spur, Panarottis, John Dory's and Rockamama's brands. He joins us now for more. Alan, thank you so much for your time. I mean, let's go into what inspired you to tell your story.
Well, I just thought that time had passed. You know, the business has been open 54 years now, and everybody seemed to forget its origins. And I read a book about Nike recently, and I was amazed at how the fella had to struggle to get the business up and running. And the same happened to me, because I really had to battle to find premises. It took me 4 years from starting to look for premises to actually opening my business. And I didn't have much earning capacity at the time. I got a loan from my dad. I got a partner who put in a loan as well. And it was just such an incredible struggle. And now, of course, it's a big business. Everybody thinks it's always been a big business, but it's taken a lot of work over many, many years. And I think the people who originated it, and I don't mean me only, it was my idea and I put into practice, but I had so many wonderful people helping me at the beginning who were very talented, who worked all hours that God made, who gave their heart and soul to the business because they loved doing what they were doing. And we all worked together as a fantastic team. So I decided, right, let's record it and see what happens. And that's what I did. And I'm very happy with the outcome. And I'm hoping people will look at the book. Here it is, A Taste for Life. And maybe they'll enjoy it as much as I did writing it. And it's got a lot of stories in it, Natasha. It's got a lot of advice for young aspiring entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
But it boils down to a few things.
Let's take a step back a bit. I mean, you talk about the people who helped you along the way to get the business started, but I want to talk about your upbringing, your parents. I mean, a lot of successful people will say the people around them at that age helped to make them the people they are right now. In what way did your parents, your mom and dad, shape who you are as an individual?
Well, my mom and dad both fled Hitler from Germany, and they both lost siblings. And they were very hardworking people, and they came to South Africa basically with nothing except their willingness to work, their intelligence, their basic principles on how life should be lived. And of course, they ingrained them in me. Sometimes being ingrained is a little bit harder than others, but God bless them. They taught me well. They gave me a good education at home, principally, as well as in school. And I was lucky enough to go to university because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And I paid for my university by working at a steakhouse in Johannesburg and came to Cape Town on holiday and decided to open here. So my parents taught me perseverance, dedication, meticulousness, how to train people, because my mom and dad both spent a lot of time training me in a very unofficial manner, you know, when you tell a kid what they can do, what they can't do, what they should do, etc.
Let's talk about some of the lessons you learned there. I mean, you mentioned the business has been operating for 54 years. The early days, take me back to 1967. I mean, the lessons you learned there in that first year.
Well, I learned, and I'm not trying to be over dramatic, I've learned how to work 20 hours a day with very little sleep, because the restaurant business is very demanding. And we had to work incredibly hard because we did a good marketing exercise. Namely, we had 4 schools around Golden Spur in Newlands in Cape Town. And we told them the day before we were opening that they'd all get a free ice cream cone after school. So they came, got their free ice cream cone, which in 1967, I think, was unheard of. And it was a great marketing exercise. But because they went home and told their parents said, look here, we better come and look at this place. What's going on? So we were busy from the beginning. And we weren't really geared because we hadn't trained staff properly yet. We didn't realize the impact this would have. So when I say we worked hard, we really did. And I had a little Mini Cooper, and I used to have to ride my staff home every second night because my partner did it the other night, to Gugulethu, Heideveld, Athlone, Langa, in 2 shifts. So some would say in the shop, the first lot would go home to Langa and the more close suburbs, and then the second lot would be picked up and we go to Heideveld and Gugulethu, and then I'd have to drive all the way home and go to sleep for 4 hours, get up, open the shop the next morning, and so it went on. So from that point of view, it was very strenuous. From the other point of view, it was a joy. We were blessed to be so busy, to be so enjoyed by people because we delivered the goods. We didn't compromise.
Right.
Sorry.
No problem. But because we want people to, delve into the book because it's a fascinating story, and they'll get to chapter 13 where we talk about the showdown at the Texamo Spur. But I want to fast forward to chapter 15 here because this is where you're remembering the former CEO of Spur, the late Pierfontana. And even though towards the end of your sojourn together, there was a level of discord. How are you choosing to remember him?
Well, I remember him very fondly. I'm extremely saddened, and we all were extremely saddened by the way he chose to take his own life at the end. I think he'd got himself into several situations which he couldn't cope with, and principally because he no longer was with Spur. And believe you me, when I left Spur, I didn't realize what a blow it would be. And I'm still a pretty active, energetic, vibrant person in the sense that I want to work and I want to contribute and I want to do things. I think he must have felt the same way. And if you don't have something else to do, or you haven't got the sense of self that you will get there eventually, it can be incredibly dispiriting. So I remember him fondly and with great sadness that that's the way his life and his journey was ended.
Ambor is the founder of Spur Steak Ranches. That's it for me.